may I tell you something, Christine?
I would love to.
Um, not just for all the sisters who may join us. I've asked for 1 million sisters to walk the streets. When I was 19 and Jewish, didn't know anything else. 2 people in the world, Jewish and non-Jewish. That's all I knew. We never heard a bad thing. It's just that we grew up conservative and separate from the world. And when I was 19 and working in Manhattan on my own, the news came out that nuns had permission to shorten their habits to knee length. Now, I didn't even know the word habit, but I knew that these nuns were in the world to affect the world for God. And it was the middle of the miniskirt era. And I thought instead the world had affected them. I don't say that now because I don't know everything that happened. I didn't know anything Catholic. I didn't know about Vatican II. But what happened at 19 years old, something that felt like an electric bolt ripped through me and paralyzed me for just 2 seconds. It became my deep and immediate loss. I lost something that wasn't mine, and I let it go. 26 years later, listening to a certain troublemaker by the name of Scott Hahn, he said, I was listening to 4 hours because I was looking into the church. It was 1990. I only went to save Catholics. I had become an evangelical Protestant first to save Catholics. So I was listening to his tape. How could a Presbyterian minister have become Catholic? How could he have had a personal relationship with the Lord Jesus and then become Catholic? How insane can you get? But Scott said at the end of that 4 hours, he said his words, for the one who will look into the claims of the Catholic Church, 2,000 years of church history, the church fathers, to that one will come, he said, a holy shock and a glorious amazement to find out that what he had been fighting, moi, and trying to save people from was in fact the church Christ established 2,000 years ago. What happened to me at 19, that electric bulb went through me at that moment, 26 years later. And never again, those 2 times. It was so strong, it paralyzed me again for 2 seconds. And I knew on the spot that if I did not look into the claims of the Catholic Church, the last thing I ever wanted to do, I would be turning from God. And that began a 4.5-year agonizing journey to the Catholic Church. My best friend who knew I was on that journey, she said, she was an evangelical. She said, Rosalind Moss is my given name. She said, Roz, if you become Catholic, you're not going to be a nun, are you? And I never thought of that. I said, and we were sitting in the midst of a Sizzler, huge salad place in California. And I said, Beth, I didn't think of that. But I said, can you see me walking through this restaurant in a black and white habit to the floor? Even if people think I'm a medieval wacko, they have to think of God. Whatever they think of God, they have to think of God. How this happened, we'd need 3 hours, Christine. But my heart is not just to have 1 million sisters before I die and 20 million after I die. Part of our charism is returning the hemline to the floor and the habit to the world. We walk through the streets. And I could write a book on what happens. It's so beautiful. But I've known that the family is God's design to build his kingdom. And therefore, the enemy's #1 target to destroy. Our Lady of Fatima said that
Final battle.
the final battle will be
between God and
that's
Satan.
it, marriage and
the family.
That's it, marriage and the family. I know that the family, so all this transgenders, transhumanism, gender ideology, so-called same-sex marriage, all of that has one aim, only to destroy the family. Can't destroy the church, but if you destroy the family, no vocations, so forth. My hope is to help restore, even if we stay 6, to help restore God's design for the family, to teach the faith, to help the father be the head, the mother to be the heart, to not be afraid of their children, to not stop parenting, to not turn them over to the schools and to the world. That's our dream, and that's why we live.